Welcome back, people. A little bit of out of sequence here. This is race day, race 3, Maui versus Oahu. Pretty amazing conditions, some groundswell, plenty of wind, the mini peeps and GCs. So sit back, enjoy. Amazing.
I was thinking about sizing up to the 1160, but I think it will build, and there's some swell, so I'll go 1070. 35 rear, so my smallest setup basically. And means I have to try and get up quick at the start. I've got to put my effort into getting up, because if I take longer than 2 minutes to get up, it's a waste. I should have just sized up the foil, so make it work at the beginning, and then the end's probably hard for the pump in at 1070. But I don't know where we're finishing. If we're finishing at the gate or the ramp. So.
Have to wait for the pre-race briefing?
I guess so. Be handy to know it now, so I'll see. Tourniquet. You never know.
And what are you going out on today? I'm doing interviews.
Oh God, you don't want to know. A board from the 60s. And L 185, biggest wing anyone's going to have here. 80 centimeter mast. Old school viewpoint 1.5 or something. Just hoping to make it.
Just want to live.
Just want to live. Yeah.
What are you going out on today?
We got a Frank board and the code foil setup.
What code foil are you going out on? The 680?
680.
Nice.
You were riding yesterday, right? I saw you somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, you came
I
in at the
winged.
harbor wing.
She did it first.
Yeah, I did my first Maliko
Are you
yesterday.
two together?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, super. I remember your face. Remember you coming in the wing.
I was pretty stoked when I got in. I was just
cool.
happy to be alive.
Yeah, good. Super.
What are you riding today?
I'm riding cut down 990.
Cut down 990.
Yeah.
What's it cut down to?
It's cut down, that's about 39, and it's about a meter.
Yeah.
39 and a quarter inches.
Nice.
Yesterday I suffered a little bit, so I'm going back to Old Faithful.
Yesterday was a bit brutal out there.
Oh, for me it was.
For me as well,
Yeah,
but on a wing.
I was having a problem yesterday because it wasn't that windy up here, and then I hadn't paddled in months, and I was like, oh, that was a bad combination. I just felt so out of shape.
Well, a good training run. I think today is going to be a little bit less swell and similar conditions, so good luck to you.
Yeah, I'm afraid to take my super fast wing because after yesterday, I stopped like 6 or 10 times just suffering. So hopefully I could cruise a little bit more today.
Awesome. Well, good luck to you.
Good luck to you too.
You still going for 6.8?
6.8, a little bigger foil for the first run and maybe
Oh,
the
yeah.
second run.
1070?
Yeah.
Nice.
Save the legs a little bit.
Yeah, did you look up? It wasn't actually that windy out there.
It's not like, it'll pick up.
Yeah.
There's less groundswell today.
Yeah. I don't know if that's good or not. There we go.
First of all, thanks, Chip, for putting this together. This end.
Setting liability already.
No, that wasn't the intent. It was.
No,
Thank you.
John, your brand of the races is really what brought everyone together. Like, so thank you for putting all these races
Yeah, man.
together. I think it's awesome to do. Okay, so really, when you paddle out there, you're gonna look, point, everything's gonna run right into where we're going, right? There's like a big catcher's glove, so it's not like you're gonna miss it. It's the corner of where we're going. But you still don't want to be on the outside of their jetty. Like if you come outside that jetty, you're pretty fucked. Like, it's like there's surf, there's sharks, there's rocks. It's like that would be bad. So,
Here, watch over the. You're not used to those big long boards.
53. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's sick.
Oh, it's so hard to hear.
Andrea, get in here.
I'm trying to, but you guys here that are all coming to the center.
I have to go on a knee. I can't knee it.
That's how we Set alarm for 12:15. Yeah, we might have to reschedule that.
got it. Woo! All right, everyone be safe.
Well, that was a lot of action on land. Doing a frank counter here. See how many frank boards we've got. So many good peeps. Everybody has a personality, and they all seem pretty great. Hang out a lot with Guido and Marina.
I did.
That was pretty.
It was pretty epic.
Powerful
was
couple
epic.
on the water. Marina surfs some pretty big waves and is just learning to downwind. And I did a run with her that I filmed her, and she did 40 paddle ups to do the Maliko. And 2 days later was one of the biggest days for the Maliko that anyone had seen. And she went out with Guido and I, and she did that same run in 28 paddle ups. So
Hey, good luck,
Marina's
Flo.
just absolutely crushing it. And then Allison's just saying hello to Flo there, another up and coming downwind crusher. She's associated with Black Project paddles, excellent paddles. Sinbad there in the shot. There's Guido in front. Sam.
Great. No big deal. Okay, we got Skeeter, right?
Lots of big names. You got Ralph there.
And Debbie.
And Flo.
OG Maui crusher.
It's a good group of
Andy.
women. Good luck.
Andy's an absolute beast. And if you need stitches, he can probably do it on the water. Kevin was one of the first guys I met on Maui. He's there with his 1960s board and foil. Brian, absolute crusher. He won the 40s
Good
division.
luck, Frank.
Spoiler alert. Gabby, young, up and comer. She's already up. Gabby is incredible. Frank there in the pink in front on a 6'8" board with the 1070 axis foil.
Woo! Good
Devin.
luck, Marina.
Some people I don't know. There's Marina with the purple crusher.
Woo!
Probably the most stoked person on Maui. She's
You're gonna talk to
constantly
the camera.
hoarse from screaming. And,
My biggest competition here.
oh, there's me.
But speed, skill.
Elliot's another crusher. GP.
Well, good luck to both
He's a
of you.
YouTuber.
He's had too much kai proximity. It's rubbing off.
Elliot does a lot of drone footage.
See you at the other end.
Does a lot of stuff with
Probably
Carlini.
not gonna fly the drone, I'm not trusting it. I do have it.
What's Marina? The most
Everybody walking by though.
just psyched. She's hoarse because she's always just so vocal and supportive and
Okay.
happy.
Yep, I saw him.
And
Nice.
this guy here in the green hoodie, I don't actually know his name, but
Good luck.
we were battling it out in the water for a couple of the runs. And the guy in the green fluoro there in the access board, every time I finished, he's been there, like at the same time. I don't know his name, unfortunately. Andrew Gibbons there in the orange camo, absolute crusher, obviously. I haven't met many of the young guys, so I'm not sure who they are. Kai on the orange there, another beast. It was his first run doing Maliko. Alex Aguero, met him a couple of times out there. OG. True OG. He created the first foils that did the Maliko. and started the whole thing off. Pretty amazing, just stacked. It's a real privilege to be able to foil with these people. I don't know this gentleman's name, but this is Sinbad's husband, crushing it. Using four-wheel drive today, but he also goes out without the four-wheel drive.
Good luck.
Semi-Grom probably won the race, who knows.
Yeah, if he can do it, we can do it.
And then the big paddler, I hadn't actually paddled out this far into the Maliko wind line. So this is all kind of new, and it was bigger bumps than I was used to.
Where's he going off to Jaws?
There's Andy there, dock foil. And you see me sitting there waiting. A little bit out of sequence there. Guido on the Frank board. He rides F4, absolute hammer. And great guy. But welcome to the Maliko. This is your daily experience out here, but not normally with 60 other crew. Got my 810 board, feeling nervous a little bit because I know what I can do speed-wise, but it's not always easy to make it happen.
Waiting for the start, not going to go, but yeah. 1070, 35 skinny, 70 fuse, 76 mark. 810 Frank board.
Just a big congratulations to everybody. Well done to be able to downwind, knowing what you've gone through, and then this is the celebration.
There we go.
Old and young.
Five.
A lot of spirit in the water.
Good luck, everyone.
And they're off. Big swell rolling through. Oh, not too big, but big for any other part of the world. I thought I had a really good start here, but actually I started quite late, and I think I actually chased down a lot of people. It felt like a good start for me. But these front runners are just so quick. And such an assortment of gear. You've got all the brands. Everybody's crashing. Big ups to Alison for putting the drone out in these conditions. This was a nice surprise. As usual, excellent drone work. If you need some droning done, hit her up. I would have had some advantage over the Oahu guys here, given that I was just doing Maui Maliko runs constantly. I think I'm there somewhere, up in the upper right. If I know for sure, I'll stick a line on there and show you where I am. You can see the conditions, not overly straightforward. There's lots of ground swell there rolling through. There is bumps, obviously, lots of terrain to ride. We don't get bumps like this in New Zealand. Just so epic. An amazing place, an amazing time. Just so lucky, so privileged.
Right side. Good start, but I'm feeling a bit tough.
So I actually killed my GoPro on this run. Or not so much I killed it, but it died. The GPS took a while to catch up. And I think we only get 15 or 20 minutes of ride footage out of 35 or 40 minutes. So unfortunate, because I was really proud of this run. Totally stoked on the riding. But we can see some. And I'll follow this video up. Maybe not next, but up and coming with the second run for the day. So this is the first race of the day. Race 3 out of 4 in the series, Maui versus Oahu. Good connies, pretty mild for me. I was able to mostly chill. I'm running a what was my approach? Like, obviously I'm still filming. I'm not pedal pumping. I don't really do that anyway. Not trying to over pump. Not sure. I think leading up to this I hadn't actually tried to do the Maliko fast. And so I didn't know what sort of legs I had, my stamina. So just playing it by ear. Adding in a few pumps, try not to fade. I will err on going forward rather than back. But obviously, you just got to do what the ocean... When you're at my level, you have to do what the ocean allows. The top guys are just... I don't even know what they're made of. But yeah, I was pretty stoked with my start, even though it took a couple of minutes. Or maybe a minute, it's hard to say. And still amongst a lot of people here. Nice bump there, getting some good forward speed. Lots of open ground to go forwards. My plan, and the only plan I really had, was to go a little bit wide off the reefs so that I was going to get open oceans wind bump. If you take a line that takes you over the reef, you get good, a nice line, but the waves slow up, the swells. So. Last few days, I've done a couple of race runs. And got some good times, better than I was expecting. But I was trying very hard. So looking back at this, I was actually cruising here mostly. One of the main things that is probably circulating in my thoughts is to not fall off. That's probably the big no-no. Falling off just counters any sort of speed advantage you may have. So you got to ride reasonably safe. But you also need to ride reasonably high on the mast, otherwise you're going to burn a lot of energy. So a lot of balancing going on with tactics as well as physical balance, literal balance. I'm pretty comfortable in these conditions on this day, and I'm not avoiding any of the drops. I'm hunting the most energy that I can get a hold of here. I'm thinking about VMG, velocity made good, so I'm taking a reasonably straight line towards the harbour. I've done a lot of Malika runs by this stage, and I have a pretty good understanding of the lines. Not as good an understanding as the locals, but for a pretty enthusiastic tourist, I've got a good sense of what's going on. Maybe more so than a lot of the Oahu guys. What am I riding? The 1070 with the 35, so that is my smallest setup. So quite proud that I got it up on foil quite quickly and making it work. It's actually a good all-round setup for decent conditions. I don't really know what I don't know, and the smaller foil sizes might even be better, but it's truly hard to say. And I'm getting as good as speeds on the 1160, so the foil size up, as I am on the 1070. So that's quite interesting, and I don't know if that's my comfort on the bigger foil. The 1160 is 1,000 square centimeters, give or take. We've lost some audio there. So this is where the GoPro was just really struggling. This was the last run it ever did. I've managed to kill 2 GoPros recently. So yeah, I don't know if my ability to extract a lot of speed out of the 1160, the 1,000 centimeter foil, is because it matches the conditions or it matches my style. The 1070 now is feeling quite familiar and not too stressful to use. But honestly, it feels quite similar to the 1160 in its speed range for top end and maybe bottom end. I like the 1160 definitely has more bottom end and it is noticeable, but it is comparable. And top end, the 1070 definitely has more comfort in those higher speed ranges. So it's as you would expect. The smaller foil is a bit more comfortable at the top end, and the bigger foil is more comfortable at the bottom end. But here, making good progress, trying to head downwind, looking for openings. You know, the bump's rolling off to the left, I follow it a bit left. Looking for anything that I can gain ground on, using momentum and inertia rather than force. A part of me is probably trying to save my legs for the last part of the run. And really, you'll have a natural speed that you go. And you probably need to calibrate and figure out that if you try really hard, how much extra speed are you actually getting from that try hard? And if it's not much, then you might be worth being a bit conservative with your efforts. Like if you try really hard and you're only getting 5% more speed, but it gets more than 5% more likelihood of fatigue to failure or falling, then it's not worth it. So, and it's not as fun. Surfing downwind is fun. Pushing through an uphill, continually pushing until I get on the downhill and match speed again with the bumps. We got some GPS data now. There we go. Picking lines, looking for the continual downhill. Feeling pretty good about things. I feel like my main best course of action is not falling right now. So I've kind of gotten used to how quick I'm going, how my system feels. Now it's just all about keeping it together. Trying to hit these drops here, maximize any speed that I can. Faded that one. That bump was rolling off faster than I could travel. So if I had tried to beat that uphill, it would have passed under me and I could have easily come off foil. I have like a sense of a parallel line behind the bump I'm following, and I can kind of mentally visualize where it is, and I know that if I'm making ground on it, if there's no opening, I've got to fade, and if I'm not making ground on it, then the energy is coming from behind anyway. Adding some little bunny hops, as Ellison would say. Thinking about lines still. Heading right to access the more energy, but also cutting a straight line to the harbour. Keeping an eye on the people around me. Like, obviously I have to keep a good speed. But if you're in a zone of your own and you don't have many people in front and not many straight behind, there's no point really going hard, because if you're not going to catch the people in front and the people behind aren't going to catch you, then you might as well just have fun and ride safe. Yes, you can get your best time, but as far as positions, you're not going to improve. But that's Ralph in front of me there. Ralph is the OG Maui downwinder. I had the pleasure of doing a bunch of runs with him. Really great guy, super supportive of everybody. Excellent human, excellent foiler. He's just had knee surgery, replacement surgery, like not that many months ago, and I feel like that's in my future too, and it was really inspiring to hear his story and his beta on it. Gave me a lot of advice. So thank you, Ralph, and a true pleasure riding with you. We had a good battle there, and unfortunately the camera's just not going to last forever. We're about to run out of this, but Ralph and I battled for a large segment from here on. It's just amazing how fast he is. He's probably on this 770 code or the 860 code. Maybe you can, if he's watching this, you can write in the comments. But yeah, here the camera's failed and now I'm only getting a little segments of imagery, which is a real shame because I was quite proud of this run and would have loved to have brought it to you guys start to finish. But we get Allison's footage up next of the finish. Some Groms here, totally stoked on Kane, who's just cruising there. He's past the finish line now, so there's a red buoy in the water just to our left. And Allison was stoked to have heard she captured that with her ears. Another Grom saying Kane's the best foiler in the world. And he could easily be. But everybody finished the race. There were some people that were not feeling worthy of the race, I guess, but they still entered and they made it. And that was just awesome. Like people in the learning stages that were requiring a lot of paddle ups to get to the end. But this is Kahului Harbour. A lot of fluorescence visible. People being sensible, wearing gear that you can see from a distance. Shelley was on the left. She runs a shop. What's it called? High Tech Surf? I think so. High Tech Surf in Kahului. Great shop, great people. If you need foil gear or any gear, they house everything there. Go see Shelley at High Tech. Great person. So she was calling out people's finishing results, and there was a few jokes at the end that one of the prizes should have been a megaphone for her. I'll call out anybody that I recognize. It's a bit hard for me to tell. You see the cruise ship in the background? That makes a big difference for people winging inside the harbour. Causes a lot of turbulence. That might have been Andy that just went past. But you can see the gateway there to get into the harbour. Just if you exit through that gateway now, looking at it, and turn right, you're straight into Pier 1, which is a pretty grunty reef wave. But yeah, I've just seen me. So I got 20th, so that would have been Andy. Andy got 16th. Will, I think, got 19th. I was just behind him. So the top 20 were just a lot of hammers there. But well done to everybody. To get to a point where you can finish a downwind run within a time frame is pretty incredible. And how individual it is, the riding of these waves and bumps, and how you attack it compared to other people. It's amazing that we all sort of get in at the same time on different equipment, brands, models, different bodies, minds, histories of learning. That's Ralph there, just in the orange, just pedal pumped past me, crushing it. Didn't catch this guy's name in the white shirt there, but he's crushing it too. Amazing pump and stamina. And riding a frank board. In fact, he was number 1 on our frank board counter, if you go back. Looking good. Spinning some yarns is John Hearn in the orange. John is an absolute legend. He's the one organising a lot of these races on Oahu and Maui Just so open, so stoked, so accommodating. He looked after me and Frank when we went over to Oahu for the first 2 races. And took us out to dinner, showed us where to eat, gave us a bed to sleep in, gave us so much stoke. Just an absolute privilege knowing John. He's an absolute beast. He's riding Armstrong, probably the 680 here, maybe. And Frank board, custom. Looks like KK. His first Maliko run, he's likely stoked. His GP, he was using a 4-wheel drive, which allows him to use that tiny little board. Was that Casey? Maybe. That looks like Matt in the middle there with the yellow vest and pink shirt. Another crusher. Great guy. There's Frank in the middle of the picture there on the 6.8. You can recognize the style. Another Frank board there in the yellow shirt. I wish I knew this guy's name. But every time I finished, we've ended up next to each other in 4 races. We always look around and we catch each other's eye and we have the big smiles because we're always finishing at the same time. Some waves there breaking. It's quite shallow in here. You can surf the harbour. It's that Skeeter, I think. Another crusher. I know she was trying to adjust to a bigger board for these races. Absolute beast. Rocking the KT board, maybe the KT foil, I'm not sure. But I recognise the pink. And puppy. He's a good puppy. Conditions were probably 25 knots-ish. 20 to 30. Some groundswell. I'm wondering if that person pumping is behind Alex Aguirre there, maybe. So that is the finish line where they've just come down there. And the last 3 months or so, I've had the pleasure of learning the names of about 50 people here. And not just learning the names, but getting to spend time with them and exist in proximity. Yep. That will be Sinbad on her Parrowing. Her dyed Parrowing, BRM, she rides there. Oh, that's Kevin there in the orange, just came down. Sitting next to Alex, I think. Another long-term crusher on Maui. Great guy. He's the first person we talked to in the starting sequence. Everybody will be telling their race story to each other there. War stories. Well, Sinbad getting athletic. Couple of people struggling at the end. It's a long race for a lot of people. 20 Ks, 11 miles or whatever it is. Nice, couple of pedal ups. Cynthia, Gavin, Alex. It looks like Elliot from a distance. Another crusher. Rides a lot of KT. He lent me his KT paddle out at Ka'a, and I went and bought one the next day. So well done, Elliot. You got me. You got me hooked. It's definitely Elliot. And Devon in the pink, he just went past. Who have we got left? Was that Tony just before? I think maybe as well. And here we have one of my personal favourite humans, Marina, finishing it off. So I did a full Malika run with her not too long before this, and she did the run in 40 paddle ups. And then she went out in some of the biggest conditions anybody had ever seen, and she nailed it, did it in 28 paddle ups. Completely stoked. There's the survivors. Gabby there in the front in the orange, riding a Kalama and Axis. Alison there, she's rigging my gear for me. Frank, Tatiana and his kids. Looks like a Frank board in the middle there. Amazing people. Randy there washing off with the hose.
Just follow him.
Frank in the Jeep seats. Anyway, so that was the race. I got 20th. I think there was about 57 in the end. I think
It looks
we
like
counted
everybody's
everybody.
going right at the next light. So to the left and
We
the
counted
right.
53 at the start of the race, but I think more people turned up. We didn't see Flo there, but Flo managed to do one of her first Milikos, full length, and did it within the race time and earned some points for Maui. Is that Elliot and Will there maybe? This is the debrief center. Lots of fluids there for everybody, some snacks.
How'd you do?
20 out of 56 or 57.
Anyway guys, I'll let you just watch the rest of the video. Be good.
There were quite a few young people behind me, which is good. Makes me feel like I'm doing something right, because it's not just fitness then, but maybe I'm fine.
Like, because of
Thank you, John and Shep, for putting this one on.
With that
Legends.